In this episode, I'm gonna turn this into this.
I'm Mark, welcome to Brick AI. I'm building a self-driving Lego car and today we're gonna build the city's foundations. As you can see, this thing of beauty is not an off-road vehicle, so we really need roads to drive around.
At the end of the previous update, I already showed you the first autonomous test drive on my work table on a very simple road layout, but now it's time to upgrade the roads and build an entire city. I'm an engineer, so I figured it's always a good idea to have a plan. So, over the past few weeks, I used Google Sheets to plan the city layout, including long roads and truly amazing buildings. Some of their functionality will be powered using artificial intelligence, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and see the upcoming videos. The current plan looks something like this. I basically divided my desk into base plates and figured out where roads and buildings would fit in. I do believe those plans are only a rough idea where things could go, and my guess would be that things will change in practice. Then I quickly tested the new road layout. This means I started the car and switched it into manual mode. So basically I controlled the car similar to a computer game. And I think that looks good. Now it's time to turn my plan into reality, so let's build the first part of the road. First we're gonna figure out the width of the lane. I therefore simply put the car on a base plate, and to be honest, I'm still a bit shocked by the car's width, even though it's already much narrower than my first prototype. I believe that a lane width of 13 studs between the white lines could be a good compromise between space and driving maneuverability. I will also add a little bit of space between the white lines and the pavement, and I think that's what we can see on many roads in reality too. Now that I have a good blueprint, you can see me building the first road plate. I decided to do it on a Mills plate, which should give the entire road network more stability. But there's another reason why I elevated the entire road network. As you might have noticed in my plan, I'm gonna build a huge lake in my city. The added elevation allows me to better integrate that lake in my city. I'm really excited about it. However, building just one plate takes ages. This entire clip you're seeing right now took me about 25 minutes in reality. Adding tiles takes an insane amount of time, but it looks so much better than the road surface with the typical studs on top. But how many tiles do I need? This is a 32 by 32 studs baseplate, so I need roughly 500 1x2 tiles to cover just one baseplate, and I haven't even added the sidewalk. I can tell you, the insane amount of tiles will be a problem later in the video. Only 25 minutes later, this is the result. It's got a nice and smooth surface, and I think the autonomous car won't have any issues detecting the lanes. So now it's time to build some more of them. In this speed build, you can see me putting about 2000 1x2 tiles on the road. I can't even tell you how long it takes to build just a couple of those road plates. It's a nightmare. Building this corner was definitely a bit more challenging than the straight parts. Thankfully, I already had some experience from my test track on my work desk, and I could transfer my knowledge to the build of this road. It's important to consider the turning radius of the self-driving car. I simply can't make the corner too tight, otherwise the self-driving car won't be able to make the corner. Just like in real life, larger vehicles can't make those really tight turns. Again, I really underestimated how long it takes to build this type of road. And you have to consider that I need lots of them in my city, as you will see in a minute. Alright, I've just finished building the first stretch of road, and I just want to see what the autonomous car does when I activate it and let it drive. Well, that didn't work as expected. Needless to say, I tried it a second time. Here you can see what Sudo, yes that's the name of the self-driving car, sees. At the moment it tries to follow the lines. It therefore detects the left and right lines and tries to stay in the center of the lane. But as you can see, there are still a few issues. However, over the past few weeks, it was my priority to build the roads. only when the roads are built it's time to optimize the driving algorithms. So at the moment it's important to me that the corner radius is fine and that the self-driving car can detect its lane. Interestingly, things sometimes work and sometimes don't, but I guess that's the fun of the game. And sometimes, suddenly, the power cuts off. Anyway, I guess you can imagine what I did over the past few days. I really wanted to build a connected part of the road network so that Suda can drive in endless circles. Here I'm building my first intersection. This T-junction will lead to my favorite part of the city, which will require a lot of computational power and AI trickiness. However, at the moment it will be a dead end as I want to finish the ring road first. Before I started building this junction, I looked at some satellite images of roads. I noticed every country and every city does these types of intersections differently, but for the moment I'm quite happy with my solution. On the right hand side of the lane I reduced the distance between the white lines to mark the entry and exit of the intersected road. We will see how Suda will react to this road, but I believe it will need some specific programming. Then I continued building on the other side of the ring road. I once again had to build another corner, but this time it's much wider. As you can see, about 99% of my work consists of adding dark bluish grey 1x2 tiles. But once the crazy colors are gone, it looks so much better. Now it's time for an update. Let me show you how things currently look like. Well, there are some unfinished road plates, but it already looks awesome in my opinion. So let's continue building. I really want to finish that part of the road. Alright guys, I think the inevitable just happened. I just ran out of 1x2 dark bluish grey tiles for the road surface. Just this tiny little part of the road is missing. So, long story short, I'm gonna make a new order. Well, the crazy thing is that I already used about 9,000 1x2 tiles in the city. And considering my further plans for expansion, it's nowhere near enough to cover the entire road surface. Anyway, ordering bricks takes a long time, so I think it's a good moment to end this video with an autonomous test drive. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. In the next video, I'll be focusing on improving the autonomous algorithms and will also need some heavy machinery. See you soon!